3, 2, 1.
All right, Bill, man, welcome back to the show. Part 2. Bill Welychka. Welcome in, my friend. Welcome back.
I appreciate it so much. And Ryan and Sam, I got to say, congratulations on the success of your podcast. You are striking a chord, man. You really are.
Appreciate it, Bill, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We do appreciate that.
Yeah. Podcasting's hard work.
I mean,
Who knew?
but you're a part of that too, right? You are a part of the reason why I think people took to it as well. I mean, you were gracious enough to come talk to us. You didn't have a clue who we were or what we were doing, and you kind of liked it, and people loved it. There was a guy here on the radio. He really enjoyed it. He put clips of it on Rock 97 here in Grand Prairie, and people really loved it, and got people, and everyone talking about it. So, thank you so much for coming on last time.
Well, what you guys are doing, and what I realized with the book's release a couple of years ago, and the ensuing book tours, everyone that I talked to and everyone that I've met, and watching what was going on in Canada at that time with this MuchMusic documentary, with a MuchMusic stamp, is people really missed it, missed that time, missed that period, missed what was going on with Canadian pop culture. And talking to a lot of people on the book tours, enough that there's a second edition now of the Happy Has Been book, A Happy Has Been, is that, and you never really know it at the time, but man, those memories are priceless to people. Being exposed to new music, watching music videos, and hearing that I was like a babysitter in some cases to some people. It was mind blowing and beautiful and surprising and humbling all at the same time.
Yeah, and you exactly. Yeah, you kind of helped raise us, right? I mean, I've always said this before. I don't even have a Newfoundland accent too much because I was kind of raised on MuchMusic and you guys, and just like all, it is special to us. So it is kind of it is, and it's also special to us that we can kind of try to encapsulate that in some sort of fashion and put it out there an hour a week. People can kind of look back and enjoy it, and this is what's all like. It's fun, right? So all those book tours, that nostalgic feeling, like that's what kind of that feeling we're trying to put forth through here,
Well, one of the weird things, and I sort of touched on it in the book, is the idea of a lack of music television. I mean, people go to YouTube, they watch concerts, there's stuff out there, sure. But I was getting, the past couple of years, getting emails from people or Facebook messages saying, oh, I saw you on Woodstock documentary on Netflix. Oh, I saw you in that Marilyn Manson documentary, or that Bon Jovi documentary, or that Stone Roses documentary streaming on Paramount or something. And so there is a resurgence of music, especially documentaries, well done independent documentaries on these streaming services that are accessing the Much library, which is pretty cool. Because what the MuchMusic documentary did a few years ago was, in the production of that, they were started to digitize these old videotapes, and they kept doing that. And now these production companies are all over the place, all over the world, accessing this library with some priceless interviews. There's going to be one coming out. I have to go to Toronto next weekend to do an interview on the Toronto music scene. It's a lofty documentary that takes place from the 60s all the way to the early 2000s. And we, of course, have all these old videos in our library of performances with Nirvana at this small club and Oasis at this small club. And it ends with Toronto Rocks, the Rolling Stones concert in 2003 with AC/DC. And so, they're pillaging the library, getting all this stuff. And it's nice to see that there's still a need and a craving for it.
Oh, I think so. And I mean, even we were talking last time, like they were starting to digitize, and it's awesome that it's getting used. And I mean, it's a shame that we still haven't seen the MuchMusic doc and stuff, but it's awesome because like those interviews are awesome. I don't think everybody's been exposed to them either, like as like say Americans or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, so the fact that it gets out there kind of worldwide, I think is awesome. And then you guys are kind of on display as well. Cause like, from our angle, we looked up to you guys, the same way as, a Casey Kasem or whatever, like, that kind of way in the American way, I guess, or whatever, right? So yeah, it's awesome that they're doing stuff with it, and it's cool to see these documentaries coming out.
I agree, and I'm notices that there's going to be a Motorhead documentary on Netflix, an Oasis one, a Red Hot Chili Peppers one. I'm really looking forward to the Motorhead and Oasis one. Hopefully they'll, again, use that priceless library. And that building has been sold. I think they're going to make it into condos or something. But somewhere on some hard drive, huge hard drive in Toronto, is all these old interviews. And it's being accessed, and that makes me happy. But yeah, I hope my Motorhead interviews make that special, because that would make me happy.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and they would be awesome to put in there.
Yeah, like and that Toronto documentary, Toronto musical documentary that you were talking about there. Like, what is your biggest Toronto moment, historical moment that you can think of, like that? They may have. I don't want to get you to spoil anything for the documentary, but I mean, if you can share your light on your favorite Toronto, historical musical moment.
Oh my God! Probably the first time I saw Steve Earle at the Diamond Club in Toronto, which became the Phoenix. Yeah, Toronto Rocks ranks up there. Tragically hip early performances up and down Queen Street and the Horseshoe Tavern. I've seen a lot of gigs at the Horseshoe Tavern. It's still around. Old Blue Rodeo performances around town when they first started out. Seeing The Cure at about 6 different venues around Toronto over the years. That's always been cool. Yeah, there's just so many. But probably the biggest one that people will always remember is the Toronto Rocks one, otherwise known as SARS-Talk.
SARS-Talk, yes. Yeah.
It took place right around the SARS outbreak as a way to let the world know Toronto's open, come on down. And it featured Rush and the Stones and AC/DC and the Guess Who and tons of bands. So that was a one day all that took place.
That is incredible.
Yeah, I forgot it was all in one day. I was thinking it was like a weekend thing, but it was a whole day crazy event. Because where was that held?
At a place called Downsview Park, and they've now built.
Right,
used to be like an old decommissioned airport, so it was huge, and now they've actually built a new venue there. I think a couple of years ago.
Oh, sick.
And I think that's where Oasis might play this summer. Maybe, I'm not sure. Wow. But Rush performed at that show. It was just, I think it remains the largest single day ticketed event in music history.
Wow.
Holy.
Did they ever make a
cool doc on that?
That's cool. Yeah.
That's going to be amazing, because I don't even remember seeing like a DVD of that whole thing. Like I haven't seen much footage from that.
No.
There is a DVD that was released about a year later. I don't know how long it was out for. And we were on site the entire 2 days before. We had like a little RV set up and just set up backstage and did interviews with everyone.
Wow.
Leading up to the big show. And then I did the great big long interview with AC/DC following. But yeah, some of those interviews are on that DVD as extras, which is really cool.
Oh man, I got to
find that one.
I got to eBay that thing.
Yeah.
And people over the years, do you get paid for that? Did you get paid for residuals from those DVD sales or this Marilyn Manson doc or whatever? It's like, no, I don't see a penny, and that's okay.
And I guess because CHUM would have owned all the rights to all that footage, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then when CTV, Bell Media bought CHUM and those interests, of course, that library came with that deal.
Right.
So,
course, yeah.
Pretty good deal, I think.
Pretty good deal.
Yeah,
good deal.
I mean, just the stories alone. I mean, who could ever say that you've been in so many of these documentaries and interviewing all these amazing artists, right? It's just
at these moments too, right? Yes. Like that's the other half. It's not just the interview. Like you guys got to partake in some big moments, and like Woodstock, SARS. You know what I mean? Like you guys kind of got to see all that stuff up front, and then we got to see it kind of from your eyes, right?
Yeah, Edgefest tours across Canada. By the way, I am enjoying a beer. That's only because you have one.
Oh,
yeah. Hey, there we go.
Cheers, Bill.
Cheers. Okay, there we go. Cheers, bud.
Cheersy, yeah.
Cheers.
Go. Yes.
I'm only on my first. Right. How many are you guys?
Oh, just the first one. First one. Took us a while to get set up.
One or two here. We had to set up here before.
Yeah, had studio. I forgot I had a studio fully torn down. So I had to set it back up before we started. But
Looks good. Yeah.
Thank you.
have you probably not too many cheers on podcasts before? No. Or?
This would be the first one, I think.
There we go.
I like it. We're an original. You got to give us that.
I've said cheers before, but probably I wasn't drinking anything. Yeah.
Isn't it funny though? Last time we were we were kind of talking about an Oasis reunion, and then all of a sudden, it was like months later, it all kind of came to fruition.
I know, there's still a lot of people saying, I'll believe it when I see it.
There is that. There is that.
True.
Separate trailers, boys.
So far, so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Europe first, and then North America.
Yeah, we'll see what that does.
By all accounts, they've buried the hatchet. I'm so glad.
I hope so, man. I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, I'm probably just going to bite the bullet and put that thing on my credit card and just go see it and just take it in, because I don't know. I just feel at this juncture, there's not going to be too many big, not even like bands, but the concert wise, the show wise, the spectacle, the commotion. You know what I mean? Like, I want to just be in that energy and see what it is. Like, I don't know. There's something about that concert that's really intriguing me almost every week. I keep looking at tickets and flights, and I'm kind of like, I should probably just pull the trigger.
Hey,
I think I have 3 Oasis DVDs, one live in Manchester, one at Wembley Arena. I forget where the other one is. But yeah, when you see, especially the Wembley Arena footage, I don't know what the number is, like 50,000, maybe 45,000 of people jumping up and down. And all you see are just heads in the crowd for the entire stadium. And that's the power of music. It's the power of amazing songs. It's the power of a great frontman. And people are just ballistic when they hear some of those songs. I've been on the receiving end of that in a crowd. Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing about music. And I don't think we have any new bands other than maybe Taylor Swift that are doing that to fans.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
At this point too, I would personally consider Oasis like a generational band, right? So someone that we grew up with and someone that young or old can still listen to today, right? I mean, I agree. Yeah, it's one of those like kind of like last big shows, like you said. I mean, like it's either you're going to have the lightning strike right now and see them, or you might not ever do it again. Like, it's one of those. Yeah,
I don't foresee them doing that much more than what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't. Yeah. I just don't really.
And it's sad. There's a lot of. I understand. There's a lot of Oasis detractors out there. Oh, they're a Beatles ripoff. Oh, they're a Rolling Stones ripoff. They're a T-Rex ripoff. But they do it so well. They do it where it sort of becomes recognizable, and then they take it somewhere else and they make it their own, and they do it so well. And I've been caught listening to a song. I'm going, oh, this is Street Fight Man by Rolling Stones. No, it's not. It's Oasis.
Yeah, but to be fair though, like I can almost like hear some similarities in a lot of different music and songs and stuff. So it's not exclusive to Oasis and Rolling Stones and stuff. I mean, it just sometimes it does happen, and being influenced by certain bands, I think is a good thing in some ways, right? Like, I wouldn't want to. Say, oh, they're a copy, but like, hey, I'm sometimes inspired by some things, and I want to play this a certain way.
There's only so many core, you know what I mean? There's only so many things you do. As Robert Plant always says, everybody nicks it, right? Like, and I mean, Zeppelin are the most, you know what I mean? Like, they did exactly that, which is fine. Yeah. Like, they just cover blues standards, and that's cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Give her.
I think Oasis is just, to me, they're hilarious.
That too.
No, there is that. They don't hold back. Whatever is on Liam's mind, whatever is on Noel's mind, and they've gotten in trouble for just saying what's on their mind. Yeah. But I think that's kind of endearing. In a weird way. There was a meme I just saw today. There was a meme going around a while. Something along the lines of, I forget the name of the band, but isn't it great that, in the history of the world, in this small, tiny sliver of sand in time, that we are around to witness whatever band it was. And it's like putting that idea into perspective. It's like, yeah, that's really cool that we're alive to be witness to, I don't know, like a great band.
Yeah.
And then Noel had come along and said, "Isn't it amazing in the history of the world, we are here for the sliver of time to see how shitty of a band System of a Down is, the world's shittiest band, and we are here to witness it," or something.
Oh, he's so cold-blooded at times.
Yeah.
That's Noel, though. He's so
Yeah.
I don't
funny.
expect any less. Like, I just don't, right? Like,
That's
I
like
just don't.
there's another video I saw the other day too of Tom DeLonge and Blink 182 saying like how when he ran into Noel he's like, "Hey,
I see that.
you're the best thing I've heard in America." He's like, "Oh wow, like so you like us?" He's like, "I never said that, but you're the best that I've heard in America." Right?
That's so funny, right?
And like he's like, "Wow, I'm an Oasis fan now," right? Like he was so like,
so funny.
yeah,
But that's what you expect, right? Like,
Yeah.
here's a compliment, but it's not really.
yeah, he's
Well, I remember when Oasis, maybe there was their third record, Lars Ulrich was a huge fan, and in interviews was saying, and he had a good point. He goes, "Where is that swagger in rock and roll? Liam's swagger might turn people off, but where is that cockiness?
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
We haven't had it in a long time, and Liam brought it back, and he did it so well.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Because I think the only like other comparable would be like a Josh Homme kind of a person. You know what I mean? And not even so much now, but earlier
Yeah.
he's kind of a nice guy now or whatever. But like before, he was kind of that guy too.
Yeah.
Like too cool.
I'm thinking
You know?
maybe Johnny Lydon from the Sex Pistols.
Yeah, Johnny would be
DIL
one.
maybe. That's just that brash arrogance.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But I think Liam can back it up.
he's almost
That's true.
like the bad guy in wrestling that you want to cheer for,
He is. Yeah.
right? Yeah.
He's like my honky tonk man, my favorite wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
He's that awesome heel. He's
Yeah.
that awesome heel.
So,
right?
yeah,
He really was. Yeah.
here we go. We gotta. We had to let the dog in. I gotta crack this open here. Sorry, Bill. All right,
Making some noise.
you're making some noise. We didn't say we were professionals either, Bill. So,
We got a pod dog happening.
oh god,
Oh, he wants to come in.
One's in, one's out here.
yeah. Come on.
What's his name?
We got Nova over here, and then you'll like this one, Marner, under the table.
Oh, I'm a Chicago fan.
I know. I know, because you would probably razz me for being a Toronto fan. But,
No, I think the fans deserve it. Please get past the first round.
well,
Yes.
You guys are
can say please, but there's no guarantees in hockey. It's a hard road.
I don't know, man. You guys.
it's going to be a good series.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go 7 games. I'm not going to say who, but I think you're going to see a lot of fighting too.
Yeah, it's going to be.
hope
I think the more aggressive team is going to win. I think if Ottawa wants to come in and try and bully them around, and if they do, then they're going to probably take a
I think we're
stranglehold
going
on
to see
things.
Marner's first fight.
Oh wow,
I'd like to see that.
I'd like to see
like
that.
to see
I don't think he's ever had a fight, has he?
No, absolutely not.
No.
He would never.
Papa Marn be all over that.
Oh no, Paul Marner. Yeah, he's gonna
He'd be all over that.
Not gonna like that too much. All right, there we go. We're gonna roll cut this out of here. We got the distraction here.
There we go. Sorry, Bill.
All right,
Oh, it's all right. It's all good.
It's the beauty of DIY.
beauty of DIY middle of the day podcasts. Let's go.
Pretty much, yeah.
And beauty of editing too.
That's right.
It's the best part. You can just go, not there.
clip.
But that's
You
awesome.
make yourself sound amazing. Yeah.
There's always that. Oh, yeah.
That's what I did my whole career.
As long as you're editing yourself, life is good.
Yeah.
So Bill, I can't not. Obviously, we have to get into Still Alive in Kingston. Like, I want to know when was the idea first born? Like when Jay came to you with this idea, like what was his pitch for that, and how did he get you? Were you all aboard on like from the start, or?
It didn't take much coaxing. There's this, just to give it a bit of context, this local filmmaker here in Kingston, Ontario, Jay Mada, read an early copy of my book, and then I think he liked the story of just some guy who was on this national level doing music journalism and found his way down to a smaller city years later. And he took some things from the book and wrote a script and let me read it. And it's a funny script where he asked me if I wanted to play myself. And I said, I'm not an actor. And he goes, well, you know what? we'll just get through it. If I don't like it, we can do it over again. And I said, okay, in terms of delivering a line or a performance. And the script to me was interesting in that it's a story of redemption. It's a story of reinvention. There's a love story in there. And I love the fact that it was big. Like there's a couple of big wrestling scenes. There's a big scene out on a yacht in Lake Ontario. There's a big rally at our city hall with thousands of people and stuff. And it took about 10 months to film, and we did it, and it premiered at the Kingston Canadian Film Festival to a sold-out Grand Theater. And what I love best about the film is that there's this weird parallel universe thing happening about me, but the thread through the film, it showcases Kingston bands and lots of real interviews with real performances that sort of make up the thread through the film, and it's all wrapped in this fictitious parallel universe to my life where I play myself. It's really convoluted and hard to explain, but yeah, it was a blast to do. And I got Rob Baker from The Hip involved, and he said the same thing I did. He goes, Bill, I'm not an actor. And I go, it's okay. It'll be fine. He had like 4 pages of dialogue in this one pivotal scene where he's sort of offering me life advice about how you can't look back. And I said to the director the day before we filmed, I said, just have some cue cards held up just in case. You can have someone hold them up behind me. Baker, man, he came in and he nailed like 4.5 pages of dialogue. No problem. The guy's a professional.
Absolutely.
And, good for him. Holy.
Just an amazing performance. And I don't know what's going to happen. I know the director is looking at other film festivals across Canada. But the weird thing was I lost my job during the filming around the scenes where I lose my job in the movie. So it was like art imitating life, imitating art in a weird way.
Oh, wow.
Weird. So I think there was some scenes it was difficult to show up for and perform because I had a lot of shit going on in my life.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then, we got through it, and I'm very happy with it. Happy with the crew, happy with all the people in the film. I think something should be done. I think he's looking into doing something with all the band stuff because there's a lot of, it's a great showcase of a lot of Kingston bands as well.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, like, you had the Wilderness were in there.
Yep.
And did you not have Luscious in there as well? I know you mentioned them on the last.
Oh, thanks for asking. Yeah, I love Luscious. Yeah, they're in there.
Yeah.
At the screening, at the premiere, Rob Baker was there, and Paul Langlois showed up with his wife Joanne and his sister Sue. Nice. And I love the guys. I'm a big fan, but I also love the guys. I think they're amazing human beings. But I was talking with Joe the next day, Paul's wife, and I go, "Did you catch Paul Langlois' cameo?" And she goes, "He's not in the movie." And I go, "Well, not really, but when I was interviewing Luscious at the Bath House, the Hip Studio in Bath, Ontario, I was wearing a Paul Langlois Band hoodie, and you could see it."
Nice.
That's sort of
nice.
a little nod to Paul being in the film too.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
It's a lot of history in Kingston, and it's great that you can showcase the city and the city's musical talent like that it produces. I mean, so many bands seem to be coming from that area.
Yeah, and it's been like that since the 60s. Maybe not huge bands, but it's always been a thriving music scene here. And I think it's because you have a university. I think it's because you have a couple of colleges as well, and it in a lot of places to play.
Well,
that's key part.
That is definitely a big part of it. You need to get that chance, to get out there and play for people, right?
Yeah,
and we have venues of all sizes and out here in Kingston, and there's always been a music scene. And there's always new bands to check out as well. Like I didn't know this, but until I moved to Kingston, but Bryan Adams was born here.
Oh wow.
He was born.
He was here for like a week. But he was born in Kingston.
Oh, crazy! I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that either.
Did not know.
Yeah,
that's a cool fact.
I think he was an army brat, so his dad moved around a lot. His dad was positioned at a Canadian Forces base here.
Yeah,
and he was born here. Yeah,
right. A little like Michael J. Fox. He was a little army baby, and he was born in Burnaby, BC. So
not far from here.
You know what I mean? It's people don't even remember that he's Canadian sometimes.
Yeah. And
I knew that he was Canadian. I didn't know where he was from, though.
Yeah.
They moved. Well, he was born in Edmonton, actually, which is even a stranger fact. And then he moved to BC because his dad was involved with the armed forces. So, yeah, weird.
That's pretty
Interesting.
cool. Yeah, weird. Weird
Just a
Canadian.
weird-
Weird Canadian.
Canadian
ties.
trivia just popped out of my head, but hey, yeah, that's all.
A couple of the guys from Moist are from Kingston as well.
Yeah.
Hugh Dillon from the Headstones.
Dillon,
There's a few of them.
Yeah. Well, we just interviewed a band just recently from Kingston, Dumb Crush.
They're around from there. Yeah, they have
Or that area anyway.
and they played.
That's what they play out of.
They played a show in Kingston not too long ago called So the band is called Dumb Crush. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're
Never heard of them.
they're a local Toronto-ish area, Greater Toronto area band, and they're doing a little tour right now. So and they were on the podcast, so I figured I'd give them a shout out to you because you like new bands and Canadian stuff too. So give a little shout out to my boys. Yeah,
the boys.
Cassador is another band from Kingston that have starting to make a lot of noise. I think they're on tour out west in Canada right now. Cassador with the K. Yeah.
Okay.
Another great band you should check out.
On the look for that then.
Love it.
Yeah, I love trying to find new bands. Like that's part of the fun of music too, I think. And especially in Canada, like I mean, we grew up trying to find new bands and you guys expose us to a lot of different stuff and whatever about that. I like when someone says, "Hey, have you heard of such and such?" I like that. I like a recommendation. That's the best.
Well, that's one. A lot of people say, "Well, the internet, YouTube killed music videos." Well, not music videos because it's a great place to see new music videos and also old ones. But yeah, a lot of the internet also exposes a lot of music to people who have never heard some of these bands or some of these artists before. So, yeah, are we going to see another 1,000 Taylor Swifts? No, she sort of is the exception to the rule, but. Bands, it's not like it used to be where a record company would sign a band, they'd foster them, put money into their career, they'd go tour, hopefully sell a few more records. But now bands have to tour and have to sell merch to make any money. Yeah. They're not going to get it from streams unless, again, you're Taylor Swift.
Yeah, no, the streaming internet definitely killed the musical, the music industry, in general, I think. But it's so hard. Streaming is just not it's just not a viable thing for any artist. No. I think Spotify is very unfair. I think with their platform and how they pay their artists, I think it's very.
They all are really.
You know what I mean? Like it's to see it CEO take in $1 billion and then the people that he made it off of make pennies, or fractions of pennies on the dollar. I mean,
it's nuts. The amount of plays is insane, and yeah.
Well, do you remember when the eclipse came through last spring? In Eastern Canada, do you remember hearing about this?
Yeah.
There was this path that went through North America where the eclipse had this optimal viewing, and you wouldn't be able to see it for like another 300 years or something in these areas. And I think for about a month prior to the eclipse, Bonnie Raitt's "Total Eclipse of the Heart," that 80s song, was being played on all these radio stations, and it was being streamed and. I think it was a hit in 1983, maybe originally, and it started getting all this airplay last year. And about a month after the eclipse, there was a tweet from Bonnie Tyler, the artist, and she went, "Thanks Spotify for my check for $25 or something." It's like, how many plays did that get? And it still didn't really amount to a whole bunch.
Yeah, it's insane. Like the benchmark is so tall, like it's not even sensible. And the other, it works. It's a double-edged sword, I think, because like a guy like us or whatever can just pop out an album and it goes on Spotify and everybody can access it and whatever. But that's cool. But the other side of the coin is that you are technically competing with Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? Like that's directly now. You know what I mean? Like you're not in your genre. You're not getting played on to specific radio stations type of thing or genre-based radio station. You know what I mean? Like it breaks up all of the niche to a certain degree. As much as it's cool to see all this cool art and music coming from all angles and it's all meshing together, it did take away a little bit of the opportunity, I feel like, in certain ways.
Good point. Yeah. Well, record companies, when I, was around in the 90s doing music journalism, Warner Music, EMI, Universal Music, BMG, these big record companies had offices in Toronto, and they employed dozens and dozens of people. I think the big record labels now that have Toronto offices might be in someone's basement with one or two people working in them. That's the extent of the business, the music business now.
It's crazy, hey? Like such a steep learning curve for everybody. But I don't know. And I mean, it goes back to Napster, you know what I mean? Like it is that. Lars was right. Lars was right.
Yeah.
And as much as it was cool to be a 14-year-old and have access to all that music now that I was involved in the music industry and still try to promote everybody that I like and whatever, it's kind of like, probably shouldn't have downloaded so many MP3s or whatever, you know what I mean? Like I feel bad. I don't feel bad. Like it exposed me to all this stuff, but in the same light, now that I'm older, I'm like, maybe I was part of the problem.
Well, I justified it myself personally by never downloading anything that I didn't already have.
Yeah.
I had some things on vinyl from years before that I had found with MP3s that, you know, they weren't on CDs, but somehow someone uploaded their vinyl to a digital format. And so, I used to download stuff that I already had, but I would also buy, I think I went through 3 copies of Bob Seger's live album, 9 Tonight. I think I had it on vinyl, tape, and then CD. So it all balances out.
And that is the other side. Like technically, I mean, I didn't buy it when I was 14, but like a couple years later when I got a job, then I bought all those albums. I mean, I still have them. I got hundreds of albums. Like they're still there, kind of still the same ones, you know what I mean, or whatever. So I don't feel too bad, but it took me a long time to get there.
That's what I love about the experience of music. And I think there's a whole generation, or maybe even approaching 2 generations now, that don't have that experience of, you know, cracking open a vinyl or a CD, pouring over the liner notes, listening to it from beginning to end. Looking at the photos, you know, it's not the same anymore.
No.
Yeah. Who took the photos? Who did the art? Who was the producer?
Yeah.
Who, you know, I know all those things because you'd sit in your room and turn it on and then you'd look and that would be it. Like that, you know what I mean? That was your experience. It wasn't on a computer. It wasn't in your hand, on a phone. It was way more tactile, right? You're getting a couple of different pieces. I think it was a big thing.
Yeah, it's a tangible thing you can actually hold in your hand that you can share to somebody and give to your friend.
Do you know this information? You know what I mean? Like it becomes way more than just a click of your finger kind of thing, right?
Well, and this may sound like the ramblings of an old man, but I remember when music videos first came out, that was a reaction to music videos. Mm-hmm. There was a little bit of some people a dislike to them because it took away from that headphone experience with your eyes closed or staring at an album cover and creating something in your own head. And all of a sudden, you know, this concept music video comes out and it's like, well, that's nothing to do with what I imagined in my head. It's cyclical and it changes and it evolves.
Well, that's a kind of a feeling that I don't think I've even got to experience with the just having an album or like CD, vinyl, whatever, and just being in the bedroom with the headphones. Because I did grow up with the video. I was the video star. We had the MuchMusic. We had, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how we got everything. And we had like a little CD Walkmans and stuff, but everything was everything was visual at the time. You know, it was the 90s. It was in your face kind of thing, and
everything was bright and big and powerful and loud.
Caught our attention, right?
Yeah. And I mean, you know, I agree. Like I would get up in the morning and I would channel 33, and then that would be where I'd be like the whole day. Like that was the station you came on locally, kind of thing. So like it would be whatever time, 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning or whatever, and boop boop, wake up. 33, and that would be, it wouldn't turn off anymore, like until I went to sleep kind of thing or whatever, right? Like, or I left the house, but that's what it was. Because and to be fair, I didn't have access because I didn't own a CD player. I only had vinyls till I was like, 15, give or take, or something like that. Well, they were Dad's, and now Dad had an extensive, you know, it wasn't like 10 records and that's all. They had a big record collection, so it almost didn't matter. And then you heard those on the radio because it was classic rock that was super, super current at the time. You know what I mean? Of early 90s classic rock, so that was like super current. So that was what I was raised on. Like I really didn't know much about current music until I was like a teenager. And then all of a sudden I ordered the Columbia House special, of course. Get you send 10 CDs for a penny that I've never paid for. Sorry, Columbia House. And I got those 11 because you get one for free.
Oh, man.
And I had to get a lend of my uncle's CD player to play them the first day I got them. And that was how I listened to them for the first week until we got a communal CD player at the house, and that was how it worked. Yeah, but that was and those records were records I listened to because you guys showed it to me. Kind of thing, right?
Think how much wall space people had lost because of their collections of vinyl and CDs.
Yeah, we had a basement full at one point, like piles and piles of records, piles of them. Yeah,
that's where my collection is.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't get away from. I still I don't buy them as crazy as I once did, but I still buy them. Like if I see something, and it doesn't have to be anything that great, really. Something I haven't seen before, I'll buy that. I'll listen. Like, whatever it is, I'll just buy it.
Was it November? I think it was. Last time I went to a record store. Yeah, I bought 3 different CDs.
Yeah.
And then was at a show to see J.J. Wild. When was that? The New Year? Might have been late last year here in Kingston, and I bought her CD from the merch booth as well.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. Direct payment like that.
She's
I
great.
still buy them.
She's great, though, isn't she? Like,
JJ's doing real
so
good. Yeah. I've seen her twice now.
Probably my new favorite artist, I think.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, I think it's been twice now. Yeah, it's because I seen her I seen her at Fred's, and then I seen her at the Bunnets. Yeah, and I mean,
that's the way to do it, though. Like to buy a CD from the merch stand from the artist that you're about to see. That's
straight from their hand.
Isn't that the most? That's the best, I think.
Yeah, I think so. It's the most.
It's direct. It's very direct, right? I mean, I guess they get those. I don't know where from the label or what. I'm not sure, but that's the best way to get. You know, to talk to the artist, support them, buy their merch. You know what I mean? Watch the show.
Yeah.
So, do you have any concerts you have coming up? Anyone coming around Kingston soon? Or
oh God, there's something coming up. A couple things. Nothing that. There is something coming up. I forget what. My daytimer's not here. Yeah, daytimer, old school.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Everything goes in my phone. It's the same thing. If I don't write it down, I don't remember it.
I saw a Tragically Hip cover band last weekend at the Mansion here.
Oh, sick.
In Kingston. They're called, there's a lot of them across Canada. This one's called From the Hip. They're from Toronto. And they don't, the guy doesn't dress up like Gord Downey. It's just a Tragically Hip 2 sets of music that is faithful to the recordings. And he does sound like Gord, and the band is cracked. They're amazing. But what was cool is the amount of 19-year-olds wearing Tragically Hip shirts in the crowd. Cool. We don't have the Tragically Hip anymore. We can go see Paul Langlois live somewhere with the Paul Langlois band. But it was really cool to see all these young people wearing Tragically Hip shirts for a hip cover band here in Kingston. And you think, well, we'd be bored of the hip. No. People still love them all over the place.
It's so funny. I just saw those guys from the Hip on TikTok. They have a TikTok and they show a bunch of their stuff, and it totally struck me. I was glued to it. He does sound exactly like Gord.
Crazy.
It's great though that even in that sense it can kind of expose a younger generation to this great music, right? TikTok of all things.
Yeah. So during the day, I gave them a little tour of Kingston sites because they're also huge fans. So I took them around Kingston a little bit, and
nice.
They had a great time. And their love for Kingston and their love for the hip is it's evident when they take the stage and they do the songs faithfully, and they do them very well. And I'm just glad to see there was some 19, 20-year-olds there. There were some people in their 20s and 30s. People older than me, and so it was a good night, and I'm glad they had a good time.
That's cool.
They must probably grill you about all your interviews and all your time, knowing Rob and Paul. It must. Did they meet them through you or no?
I'm okay with that. Yeah, they didn't. Not too much. Everything was very respectful though, as well. I think to the guys and. Am I in a weird position showing this Tragically Hip cover band around Kingston? It felt weird, but I inherently knew that the guys were cool.
Yeah.
and they're okay.
Yeah.
So it was easy to do.
Yeah, and I mean you are kind of a little bit of a hip historian. I mean, you do know a lot about them, and I mean you do know them personally. I mean, I think that could be a little bit of a business in itself, a little bit of a Kingston tragically hip tour guide over here. Like, come on.
I texted Baker the day before, and I go, I don't know what you're doing tomorrow night. I'll be at the mansion. You got to check out this hip cover band. They're actually really good.
Wow.
And he texted me back saying, it sounds like fun. Oh, I texted, I think it would be hilarious for you to show up and give them a heart attack, because they would have.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would.
And he texted back, oh, I'm going to be at the Leaf game. Otherwise, it sounds like fun. And then there was some shots going around on Sunday I saw of Rob Baker on the big screen at the Toronto game. I don't know if you saw it.
I did see that. Yeah, I did see that.
With him and Boris, his son. And I told the guys, I said, oh, Baker says he would have loved to come, but he's gone to the Leaf game. I said, I want you wondering if you guys would get a heart attack. And they go, we would have.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably would have shit my pants a little bit.
That was
look out singing a song, and all of a sudden he's standing in front of me.
That would have been a holy shit moment for sure.
Poor band.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But also awesome. Like, I mean, especially in their position, that would be sweet in a way. I mean, it'd be nerve wracking, I'm sure, but in the same light, it would be sweet, I think.
Yeah.
Here's the cool things about the guys. I'm not speaking on any of their behalf, but I know I have a good idea of what Rob might have been thinking, and that is, I probably don't want to go because I don't want to take away from these hardworking guys on stage. You know, if Rob was in that room, who knows? The crowd that was engaged would have turned around and swarmed him.
Right.
And so he didn't want to take away from what the band was doing. And I respect that as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing bad to say about that.
It's the kind of guys they are. They think of everybody.
And exactly.
They
I
seem
didn't
like
even
genuine dudes.
I didn't even think of that at first, but definitely him putting them in that position probably would have been the best thing, right? He wouldn't want, and that's just how it speaks to how good of a person that Rob is. He wouldn't want to take away from anyone performing, right? So.
Yeah, and it's not like he can just blend into the crowd.
No.
He's Rob Baker. He's like 9 feet tall with long hair and a beard. Yeah,
it looks just like Rob Baker. Like this unmistakable human. That's so funny.
Yeah, no, it's good. Like, so I don't mean to backtrail on the movie thing, but I mean I wanna like hear a little bit, like you did get to do some action, right? You were doing some action wrestling scenes, right? And
yeah,
everything was good there. No one got hurt. No one got.
Oh, I fell off the top rope. I've been in the ring a few times. I think we talked about this before.
Yeah,
but I went to go do an Undertaker rope walk, going old school, and the top rope wasn't tight.
Oh, okay, so I didn't know that was for the filming.
I took one step, and the rope was doing this. So I thought, well, I've made it this far. I took another step, and then the rope started doing this, and it flung me out of the ring onto the floor. Luckily, I didn't break my neck, but I did climb back into the ring, and I managed to finish the match. But that's in the credits.
That was during production. Hey, I didn't realize that at the time, because we had spoke about that before, but I didn't realize it was in production of the film.
And there's a big match coming up with some legends here in Kingston in May with Chinlock Wrestling. Anybody in the area who's a wrestling fan, it's a must attend event. It's going to be at Fort Henry, this big old fort. And there's some legends that are coming in. I got asked to be part of the Royal Rumble, and Amanda will not let me.
Oh.
No, I've hurt myself a few times in the ring. So I think that's it. My wrestling boots are hung up.
That's it.
Oh. I mean, they could just put you in at number 2 and then have you
out at number 3.
Yeah.
Quick in, quick out.
Or just keep running around the ring, high-fiving people.
That's right.
Now that would be right on.
Never really getting eliminated.
Okay, I'm in. That's what I'll do.
That's it. Yeah, just do that. Shake hands,
That's
kiss
what I'll
babies.
do.
That'd be worth it too. Yeah.
That would be worth it.
And
actually.
then maybe if I have to get in the ring, I'll just throw myself over the top rope. I'll just eliminate myself before someone else can.
Because we've all seen those celebrity WWE run-ins, hey, on the Royal Rumble. You had Pete Rose one time.
Yeah.
Well, you had all these celebrities and stuff. It's so
Speed got smashed this year. If
That's
anybody's
right,
seen
yeah.
that was hard. That was two hard smacks in a row, technically.
What was the world record? I think it's like 1 second in a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I don't know who has
can't
It was a
remember.
Canadian guy. I forget his name, but got into the ring and was immediately eliminated by Kane. Like 1 second.
Was that
2 feet in, 2 feet out.
Santina Morello or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Santino.
He's a great. He's in TNA wrestling right now.
Yes.
They have that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They have a partnership with WWE as well.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
With NXT,
With
and then
Next,
they
with
so
NXT.
that's great. I think that's awesome too.
Yeah, wrestling's coming back around.
I think
Wrestling
it's-
is starting
I think it's
to
getting hot.
starting to get a little
Yeah.
hot again now. I feel like, but I think it ties back into what we're talking about. Like that was huge in the '90s. Attitude Era was humongous. You know what I mean? Now we're at the 20-year gap, 30-year gap kind of thing, right? The way I look at it is like what my mom said. Like when she was 35 to 40, we were kind of doing stuff that they did and dressing similar, listening to similar music. And I think we're 40 now, so like we're at that point again where it recycles a little bit before it moves to the next thing. And I think that's where we're at, right? So I think wrestling's become the fact that I'm rewatching it again. Now I'm watching it again. I think it's like getting me hooked. Right?
I interviewed The Rock live on Much,
Yes,
and
you
he
did.
is still here. He looks exactly the same. The guy does not age. It's amazing.
And
He
he's
looks better. He's got like 200 pounds on since he was Rocky
yeah,
Maivia.
he's a big boy.
He's huge, man.
So like, are they cool too to like just talk off camera too and stuff like that?
Most artists, yeah. I remember before the Rock interview, we were in the makeup room, and I was asking about his dad because I was a huge fan of his dad in the 80s.
Yeah.
Rocky Johnson. And when he'd come to Toronto, it was an NWA territory, so he wore a mask as Sweet Ebony Diamond.
Oh,
And I was asking about that.
Ooh, damn,
That's cool.
Asking about his dad. And we had a long talk about that. But in the green room, I said to him, I'm probably going to end the interview off with asking for a typical Rock insult. And he goes, you'll ask for it? And I go, yeah. He goes, okay, I got something for you.